Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Avax. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to check that out before watching this one so that you have more context. I'm not going to be explaining everything twice, so watch that video before watching this one. It's going to be in the top right-hand corner of the video. Also, I want to mention that I have two donation links down below in the description where you can donate to the Ukrainian refugees and to Ukraine's military directly. Those are official websites. You can double check them yourself. Thank you all for donating and thank you all for understanding. And if you want to leave a mean and stupid useless comment, then don't waste your time doing so. And don't waste mine, because I'm either going to remove it or I'm going to simply report you. And yeah, that's it. Jumping into the charts now. So we are on the daily chart, and those who remember, or those who have watched my videos back during the 2021 pullback in the summer that we had, so I was able to lay down these fibs once we started reversing here, and once we got the bullish cross, which was the confirmation of the uptrend basically, right? So this was the bullish cross on the daily chart, and I was able to lay down the fibs with this swing low and this swing high. We got the 1.618 target at $191, okay? And we didn't really get there. We got to the 1.414 and we got above $131. And I did give you this target. I remember talking about it constantly in November, saying that, you could take some profits here because we're getting pretty overextended. The gap in between the EMAs is quite large and you're very far away from the 20 EMA on the daily chart. And lo and behold, we rolled from there. We had a lower high, and then we had a pullback. Then we created this bear flag, right? And now you've just dropped. And we are in a bullish, kind of a bullish pattern here right now, but we'll take a look at that in a second. So this is still the same fib retracement that I had from last year, and we're still adhering to it. We are holding the support above the 0.236 right now. We're sitting at 14. The support is at $14.50. Right now, the current price of the Avax coin is $16.80. So is there a possibility we back test this low? Yes, there is, especially if Bitcoin drops below $20,000 briefly, or otherwise we could we could come down here and retest $9.33. And I remember giving you this buy zone here anywhere from $10.60 all the way to $9.30. I haven't even removed the price tags. They're the exact same size that they were, because now we use bigger price tags. And back then I was using smaller ones for some reason, but I just kept it as a reminder that, this was a very good entry point for Avax. And from there you made a 16x basically, right? Yeah, you made a 16x from there. And right now you are down 90% on Avax from the swing high over here. And once you printed the all-time high back in February, you had a pullback of around about 85%. Now you have a pullback of around about 90%. So I would say the bottom is somewhere close, and I do expect us to have a double bottom pattern over here. So as you can see, you print a low, you retrace to resistance level, you come back to this low, retrace to the low, create a double bottom pattern here, then you break to the upside. The same thing could be said about this fractal over here, right? You have this low, you come up, you test a resistance level, then you start coming back down, you test the exact same low that you have over here, you create a larger double bottom pattern, and then you break to the upside. See how it works? So you usually come back to the place where you usually retrace down to the place where you came from. And this is where you came from in this case. So if I don't think we're going to hold $14.50 if Bitcoin drops below 20,000. If we don't drop below 20K, I do think this could potentially be our low right now. But if we don't, I would set some buy limit orders, and I'm going to give you more support levels down here later in the video. But right now I do want to check out this potential bullish pattern that we have. We have a broadening descending wedge over here. So the orange trend lines represent a descending wedge. As you can see, you have support, resistance, resistance, support, and the target is sitting over here at $37, basically 36.5, because that's where the pattern was created. And from where we are right now to the target of the pattern, that's a nice 120%. Okay, so you could potentially have a very good trade over here, and we could get rejected from the 55 EMA, obviously, but I don't expect something like that to happen because we would have to break the resistance of the pattern. We would have to break the 20 EMA, right, the yellow line, and we'd have to break the 0.382 fib level over here. So I really don't think we're going to do that, but I might be wrong. We could at least retrace to the resistance level here, to the resistance of the pattern. That's a nice 30% trade. So we could potentially do something like that and then come back lower and come back to this over here, to this support. And from there, we start climbing and building. We actually break the resistance of the descending broadening wedge. And that would be bullish in my opinion. So I'm looking for the bottom to be set this summer. I was expecting this pullback to happen somewhere in July/August. We got it earlier, which is better for me because I get to accumulate more tokens at cheaper prices. So the 20 MA is a great target for you if you want a swing trade or you want a midterm trade. That's a great option in my opinion. So we're going to have this long-term fib still up. If we start losing this low, however, that would be quite negative. And a lot of altcoins have done that, you know, multiple months ago, but Avax hasn't. Okay, Avax hasn't done that. And if we come back and bounce from this level, that is a very, very bullish pattern. You have a very nice double bottom pattern. So yeah, we're going to be targeting that. Also, I do want to jump into the daily RSI here. As you can see, the last update that we had on Avax was on June 1st, and on the RSI, this is somewhere in here. And I did tell you that you could potentially find some resistance on either one of the blue trend lines, the white trend line, or the red trend line here, because all of these are valid resistance levels, because some of them have been support previously, and some of them were resistance since November, basically, when we created the all-time high for Avax. So we have one touch, two touch. Basically, I've gone through this in the last update, so watch that before watching this one so that you have more context. So if you took some profits in this area over here, and right now we came back into the oversold, obviously below the index of 30, great buying opportunity for all the Avax holders. Now let's switch over to the Binance chart. Now jumping down into the Binance chart, I want to move over to the weekly chart. So there we go. You have two buy zones over here from $14.18 all the way down to $12 is the first buy zone that we have. And obviously, if we lose that and if Bitcoin drops below $20,000, I would expect us to bottom somewhere in between $10.60 and $9.28, which is basically the same support level that I gave you last summer once we were dumping in 2021, and this was basically the low, as you can see, and then you broke out from there and you haven't looked back until now, right? So now there is a possibility that we come to this level, we bottom out, and we continue. Now, if we start losing these levels and we go even lower, that would be quite negative, and I would look for this range over here, right? I would look for this range over here. This is where I would be accumulating, because you have a trading range over here, then you have a breakout, so naturally you want to back test a resistance level, a previous resistance level here. So somewhere at $5 potentially, but I don't know if we're going to get there, right? We have to break these support levels before doing that. And taking a look at the weekly stochastic, we're obviously in the oversold, great buying opportunities right now. Taking a look at the weekly RSI, we are in the oversold on the weekly chart, which is a first time for Avax from the Binance chart over here. So this just tells you that this is a great buying opportunity. Obviously, we've had the bearish cross back in January of this year. So if you saw this bearish cross and you wanted to wait, because this is basically a confirmation of the downtrend, but this is a lagging indicator. So first the downtrend starts, then we get the bearish cross like a week later, but still you could have sold and you could have bought at cheaper prices. Let me just show you what potentially you could have done, or some of you potentially have done that. Obviously, I don't know. But this is where we were at, right? So an 85% pullback from the bearish cross on the MACD. So that was a good buying opportunity. And you have the two buy zones. It's crazy. Look at this pullback. So since April 11th, okay, we've dropped 84%, right? It's barely 2 months. So in 2 months, you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. And you know, this is the time to be accumulating. Obviously, we could go lower. There is no guarantees whatsoever in crypto or any investments really. So you have to bet on yourself and you have to bet on your research. If you are looking to hold AVAX for the long term, you are okay and fine with the project's goals and everything, then there is no denying that this is the time to be buying, because look at this time. People in November were sorry that they didn't buy in during the July/June bottom. And right now, the same way, once we're going to print a higher high, people are going to be sorry that they didn't buy in during this summer's pullback. So yeah, we got a bearish cross on the weekly as well. The 20 just crossed below the 55. That's a confirmation of the downtrend. Usually once that happens, we just see a little bit more of a downside and then we start bottoming out and we create some sort of a bullish reversal pattern. But let's see what the markets do here. Look at this disgusting downtrend. You know, this is the only thing that you need to see. Once you see this, it's a good opportunity to buy, of course, if the project is right for you. But that has been it, guys. Thank you all for watching. If I missed out anything on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me and feel free to follow me on Twitter as well. I do post technical analysis over there. And I do have a Patreon. It's a great way to support me and a great way for you to get more exclusive content on a daily basis. Low cap gem calls, project reviews, market sentiment analysis, TA requests, video requests, everything will be in the Patreon. So the link is in the description. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.